Hello, this is Linda and Aaron with Traveling Flamingo, and today we are in Cozumel, Mexico, and we spent the day at Playa Mia. So this is an outdoor beach resort. We'd like to share with you our experience, tips, and recommendations for your trip, and if we thought it was worth the cost. So stay tuned for more.
So Playa Mia is like a little beach resort area just about 20 minutes away from the cruise ship dock. The cruise ship doesn't have a beach or anything, so if you want a beach, they have several different package options from Norwegian. And this is basically like a beach resort where you can, do paddle boarding and all sorts of stuff, all sorts of water sports. And they've got beach and chairs and so forth. So that's basically what we're in general talking about here. And it is an excursion that you can book through the cruise line. So this isn't just specific to Norwegian. This isn't a private island or anything. You can book this from just about any cruise line. So if you're going to Cozumel, this is a great video to help you identify if this is a place you want to go. So this is the last in our Caribbean cruise port videos. If you're interested in seeing any of our others, we have Roatan, Honduras, Harvest Key in Belize, we have Costa Maya, Mexico, and Cozumel, Mexico. So if you're interested in any of those, we will have the link to our playlist. Go ahead and check those out.
There are a variety of dining options available to you. There is a buffet, which some packages have included. They had a good variety of food at the buffet, a lot of shaded seating as well. We didn't have that option, but it seemed to look to be a very popular one. Also, near the lockers, there's a bar which has some food service too, so if you're not looking to spend as much or get as much as the buffet, you're just looking for a little snack, that is also available to you. We just got a couple sort of pops and stuff, and later on in the afternoon, when you're on the cruise ship, we were pretty full, so we weren't looking to add on some of the extra food, but they do have some good food options there for you.
They've also, of course, got a bunch of different bars on the beach. So if you are interested in getting alcohol, you can either pay yourself. So you go up, obviously, with a debit or credit card. You can purchase a alcoholic drink, and you can have that as long as you're 21 and over. That is the age requirement here at Playa Mia. And so you can enjoy the beach, go up, grab a drink. The ice and everything is safe. This is cleaned water that they're using here. So from an entertainment perspective, they do have freshwater pools. They also have the beach. So there are two pools. There's sort of a kids slide area where you've got a bunch of different kids, little sort of water splash pad type of thing. It is about a foot of water, I'd say, in that area. And, they've got like the dunking buckets and so forth for kids to play in. They also have sort of an adult pool, which is right where the bar is. I believe it's a swim up bar there too, and you can order your drink and be in this pool. It's not a very large pool, that one specifically, but it's good to get in if you're feeling a bit hot or if you like the freshwater pools as opposed to the ocean. And then, of course, they have the ocean. In the ocean, they've got this sort of inflatable water park thing where you can sort of jump around on these sort of inflatable objects. It's kind of like these little islands, and some of them have like little trampolines on them. Some of them have, the slides that you can slide down, and that was a lot of fun. You do have to swim out to it, and if you're not a very strong swimmer, it could be a bit hard. There is like a little buoy in the middle of the way there that you can rest at, that you hold on to, so that's handy. And after you're playing, don't forget you do have to swim back, so be advised. You do have to wear a life vest. They also have paddle boats and kayaks. They have beach volleyball. They also have motorized water sports, so they have jet skis and so forth. And the non-motorized water toys are available to you for free. So we went on the aqua bicycles. I'm sure they got a bunch of different names, but they're basically the three-wheel bikes that you paddle in the water. It is a bit of a closed-off area. There's like a little bit of a pen that you have to stay within, which is kind of unfortunate, but it was still fun, and it's free, so you can't go wrong with that. You will have to sign a waiver if you do those, though.
Just to add to what Aaron said, the only ones you had to pay for were the motorized water sports. All the other water sports were free. So some of the things that we liked, there was a ton included in our package. We paid for the base package, or the bare minimum, I guess. And we really took advantage of that. Played volleyball. We went out to the water park area. We did the bikes on the water. We tried the slides. I mean, when you're there for the day, we didn't feel we were bored at all. But if you wanted to just sit and relax in the sun, that was an option too. The food was easy to access. It was good. It was pretty fresh. We also found that the drinks were really easily accessible. There weren't huge lines for drinks, which is great. And the prices were pretty much what you would expect.
They also had a nice little shopping area when you first walk in. They have Starbucks coffee there, which is also very nice. And they have this like little cocoa chocolate area that you can sort of sample chocolate from, sort of Mayan chocolate, if you will, which is kind of cool. Some of the things that we didn't very much like about Playa Mia was we didn't really drive over there until 11 o'clock, and a lot of the beach chairs were taken. And why the beach chairs were already taken is because a lot of the cruise ships actually go here. So we were in port with, I think, the Allure of the Seas from Royal Caribbean, as well as a couple other smaller ships. And you had, most of the lounge chairs were taken. You had to rent the umbrellas, of course. There wasn't very much shade. But by about 1 o'clock, it started to get a lot quieter because the Allure of the Seas was leaving. So even though we say we didn't really like that we were only there at 11, if you were there earlier, you're only there for 5 hours. So it's a 5-hour duration. And we thought, well, maybe it just says it's 5 hours. But it seems as though all of these ships have like a 5-hour chunk of time. So we just had the later in the day 5-hour chunk, and the Allure of the Seas must have had the earlier 5-hour chunk. But there is overlap on those. So do be prepared for that.
So what to expect in terms of money? They do have lockers that you can rent. They're $4 for the day, and you get as much in and out as you want. You get the key you keep with you. You can also rent umbrellas for $4. We didn't bother with the umbrella because it was really clouded over that day, but it does get hot. Towels are also $4 rentals. They have lounge beds that are, it's $5 rental. You have a $30 deposit, but you will get $25 back. So we paid for the day package without food or drink, and it was $45 US each per person, and I thought it was a great value. We really took advantage of the water sports. On some islands, you could be paying $50 just to go kayaking, where they had kayaking there. Now, it was a smaller area, but if you're just wanting to get some experience and exposure with some of those water activities, it was a great way to do it. Enjoyed playing volleyball, having some time on the beach, and enjoyed the water slide. So we really took advantage of our day there and enjoyed how much variety there was to do. And you weren't just sitting on the beach in a chair baking in the sun.
Yeah, and as somebody who generally enjoys just sitting on a beach and baking in the sun, they do have a lot of really good stuff there. As Linda said, if you've never kayaked before or you've never tried those aqua bikes, it's a great place to do it. You've got a very, somewhat small area that you're able to explore within. They're watching you pretty constantly. You're in the ocean, so if you fall in, it's not a huge issue. It's not all that rainy or all that wavy. So, you really should try it. It's a good place to try it if you've never done it before. It's pretty safe. We really enjoyed a lot of those things that they had there. It did get a little bit busy, but, that happens with a lot of these things. So the other thing to bring up in terms of cost is, yes, we paid $45 with the cruise ship. You could pay $85 US, which included the unlimited food and unlimited drinks for those who are 21 and up. However, if you don't do it through the cruise line and you just go ahead and purchase it yourself, you can actually just go right on the dock. They've got people who sell the excursion, and it's $30 for adults, and that includes all the stuff for free other than the dinner, the food, or the open bar. If you do want the food, it's $45 for adults, $35 for children, and if you do want the open bar as well, it's $60 for adults, and for some reason it's also $50 for children, although I think an open bar is probably going to be wasted on a child if it's 21 and up. So that is something to keep in mind. Do remember though, if it's late for some reason or the traffic's bad, the ship could leave without you. That said, it was 20 minutes away. Didn't seem all that hard to get to. It wasn't that many sort of one-way roads or what have you. I'm pretty sure if there was an accident somewhere, they could find a way around it. So something to keep in mind. You could do it cheaper yourself if you don't book through the cruise line. It is, of course, more expensive through the cruise line, but just something to remember.
So yeah, it is sort of weird that they would have an unlimited drink package for if you're under 21, but I guess that would include pops or other beverages that they have available there. If you've ever done it and want to let us know in the comments below, that would be really appreciated. I'd like to know how that works. So what you should bring for your day at Playa Mia. You definitely want to bring your own towel, flip-flop, water shoes. We brought our own towels rather than renting them from there. And the water shoes or sandals, the sand is very hot. And so when you're walking around, even if it's from activity to activity or to your chair, your feet will be toasty. You want to remember whenever you're getting off the ship to have your cruise card with you. Sometimes you need photo ID or depending where you're from, so make sure you know what your cruise line requires for that. You'll want to have some form of payment for food, drink, and souvenirs. So if you're using cash or, credit, make sure that you've got that with you as well.
A few things that we'd suggest too is there is quite a bit of sort of fun that you can have in the water here. So bringing a GoPro or the DJI Osmo Action or some sort of waterproof camera would be really useful here. We'll put some links below to some of these things if you're at all interested. If you're not, don't worry about it. We'll put some Amazon links below. You can also bring those pouches to put your cell phone in, and you can go ahead and put those in the water. I wouldn't fully recommend those. I saw a bunch of people doing it, but one, I found that they leak a lot, and even though a lot of cell phones are waterproof, the salt is a whole different can of worms when it comes to getting in those seals and drying them out. So I wouldn't recommend taking a cell phone, even though a lot of them are waterproof to some level. You could put them in that pouch as a second level of safety, and that could be a great way to do it. Ideally, I would probably get a GoPro or the DJI Osmo Action. Get an older GoPro. You don't have to buy a new one. Get a Hero 6, Hero 7. Don't buy whatever's the latest and use that. It's just as great.
So thank you so much for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed sort of seeing and experiencing what our day was like at Playa Mia. We hope that you got some tips for your own trip. If you liked our video, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. And we always love hearing your comments in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching and happy travels.